let's get the first zoom out with a single truth. Two operators can run a single marketing campaign, right? Same list, same budget, and obviously one can make money while the other one loses it. And this unfortunate happens all the time, right? So tonight it isn't about declaring which marketing is the best. It's about understanding when something works and when something doesn't, and what has to exist underneath it. Connor, could you maybe start off this conversation for us?
Yes, sir. Guys, wonderful to have you guys on. I'm so grateful. This is everything me and the brothers ever wanted. We were wholesaling for 4 years. We thought maybe we should make a CRM, sell it, maybe it'll blow up. We never believed that it would get to this level in 14 to 15 months. I'm truly grateful to God for everything that it has came and all the problems that we have solved, and also just seeing all of you guys win and use the CRM and just be happy with the service that me and the brothers provide. Okay. I brought you guys on here to give game. I told the stories. I said, hey, I told all of them they got to give game. They need to unleash it, and they're going to. So everyone that's listening on Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, maybe TikTok, guys, thank you for joining us. You guys could be anywhere in the world at this exact time, but you guys have joined us. We just got some new guys in here, Jared Peterson, Anton Tamkovich. Good to have you guys. We're already starting. But yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing. The first thing that I want to start off with is it's going to be a round robin, so it might just be a little tricky. I'm going to call you guys out. Just answer, be short. But I want everyone to share in 2025 what was your most successful marketing channel out of all of them. Okay. Based on what you guys say, we're going to dive deep, ask questions. But guys, again, this is your room. This is your space. Okay. Be confident, be yourself. No need to put on the face. We're all operators here. We all make money, no ego. Put it all aside. Let's share. Okay. So I'm going to go. I was going to say Stratton, cameras off. Moody, Mahmoud Hassan. What was your top marketing channel in 2025?
Cool calling.
Cold calling. Cool. And this can be favorite, most successful, what made the most money. You don't have to explain, but that's what we're going for. Trayjen,
Facebook, PPC.
Austin.
Cold call.
Cool. 2 cold calls, 1 Facebook, Meta. Anton.
SMS.
Nice. Jared.
Foreclosure, probate cold calling.
Nice. Zach Flood. I don't know if you're there, but interrupt if you are.
I am. I'm eating a burrito bowl. Sorry.
You're good.
Facebook for ROI. Google is like another beast in itself, but you have to be ready for creative pitches. Like, it's not cash. If you guys are just doing cash, you're never going to see the return. Innovations, creative, stuff like that. Almost scraping the surface as well. Facebook probably number one for ROI though.
Cool. What about you, Ross?
It was a combination. I mainly did paper lead. I did some meta ads, so I can agree that the ROI was excellent with Facebook. But I would say either lead Zolo or property leads. I got some of my fattest spreads off of for sure.
Nice. What about you, Joey?
PPL and JVs for me. Newly with the PPL and then just a shit ton of JVs last year.
JVs. We went crazy on our last year of wholesaling. We went crazy on the JVs. I could feel that. What about you, Stratton?
I'd for sure. I mean, the best ROI is JV. Like, your brand is going to bring you in so much fucking business to where we can make multiple 6 figures a year from JVs alone. And then PPL, shout out Newly, shout out Real Estate D's. We use all the different PPL companies because I'm not a very smart person and I don't want to sit there and run a Google campaign or run Facebook ads. But I know we can operate and get to leads faster than anybody else, and we can hound people better than anybody else. And that's like what it really means to, like, if you want to separate yourself, that's what it's going to take. But for sure, JV disproportionately is the best ROI that we ever get.
I agree. Brandon?
Yeah, cold call was our best marketing, and then we also dipped into Facebook marketing, which at first was rough, but once we got acclimated, it's going to give us pretty much the same ROI that we have with the cold calling. So 2026, that's what we're rolling with.
fire. And Daniel Burke, I'm not sure if you're here, but feel free to interrupt if you want to share.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually getting plugged in right now. Just pick the kids up. Meta was a clear winner for us last year. Meta leveraged with AI as well. I think we're a little bit north of an 8.5x return on ad spend. It was the winner.
Let's freaking go.
8x, let's go.
All right, guys. You guys all heard who or whose favorite marketing channel was in 2025. I'm sure you guys are looking into some of those marketing channels that were shared. Obviously, you guys want to work with someone that was successful last year. So definitely hit the guy up if you heard that, or ask him questions right now. This is the perfect place to ask questions. Thank you guys all for sharing. That's something quite vulnerable. Some people might not share, but I appreciate you guys all for being open and just letting us know what was your best marketing channel. As you guys heard, it literally, it works everywhere. You know what I mean? I heard a lot of outbound, heard a lot of inbound. I heard JV. I honestly wasn't thinking I was going to hear JV, but guys, it all works. I'm going to throw this up in the air. And like I said, guys, don't let this be awkward. This is your chance to share what you know. And for content, guys, don't forget, this is all going to get clicked up. But why do you guys think your guys' favorite or most successful marketing channel actually worked for you?
Yeah, for me, I'll start. I think, I've been doing cold call. I've been around cold call for the last 6 years. I think for especially beginners, for any company, I think having cold callers established gives you some sort of consistency within your business for your cash conversion cycle. And it allows you to be able to try those other things like the PPC, the PPL, Facebook marketing. Like it gives you, for me, like that consistency of money so that I can experiment and find new things and add on top of the cold calling that I'm already doing. And I've seen it be like that for the last 6 years. There's so many people still doing cold calling. It just, I don't think it's going out of business anytime soon.
And guys, you had questions on top, guys.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, right? Cold calling has been kind of my strongest suit since first learned what the definition of sales was, right? But the big thing about cold calling is that one, it's the fastest when it comes to scalability. That's one. And then the second thing, the amount of leads that actually come in from cold calling, especially if you're turning it into a systemized machine, you could get per cold caller at least 6 to 8 leads per day, right? And then the more callers, the way you train them, English lessons, whatnot, right? It really can pick up and turn into a system where honestly you can even turn that into a PPL business by itself. So that's why for me, there's just a higher ROI and a higher lead count that comes in, especially with me trying to grow out a team this year. I need leads to just keep coming in, even if they're, kind of a warm lead even. So for me, it's just, okay, easiest thing to one, manipulate. Second thing, where you can get the most leads. Third thing, honestly, that's the highest ROI because, your lead to dollar ratio is minuscule.
What we've done is, again, converting mostly into inbound. And then we are using the shit out of this CRM for SMS, for email, for voice drop. We did multiple 6 figures with just SMS on this CRM last month. Just the CRM alone. And you guys need to, if you don't know where to get good data from, that's also something I would consider looking into as well.
I would tell you Data Syndicate. I'm a throw it in there. Data Syndicate's amazing. And then if you guys are like up to date with like Moltbot or Manus AI, and you think you can build something and like have some type of a data scraper, and you have an open data source on any county record, we have AI that scrubs county records every day, and then we get that data essentially instantaneously. Data Syndicate can send runners to go get data for us in counties that we like that aren't there. But instead of having a data manager, you should honestly start to think forward of how can I have like AI really pushing this forward for me, managing this, uploading it for us. So right now with Data Syndicate and Closer Control, we have a bunch of records from Data Syndicate that get uploaded by AI, texted by AI inside of Closer Control, and then set appointments for our sales reps to talk to. And we will pull a bunch of data every day with AI to where when you're thinking about a data manager, that position is going to become somewhat obsolete as you start to grow your company, as AI gets better and better. If you haven't seen like OpenClaw yet, it's insane. and then manus.im is really good. So as you're thinking about your data, if you're getting it from, let's say, like Property Radar, that's good, but you want to get it instantaneously, and you're going to have to figure out a way to get it, because Closer Control's bot built and what they've built can set the appointments for your sales team all day.
Is that
Like, they're going to
niche
crush.
data?
All niche, bro. We're not mass.
All
All
right,
niche.
perfect.
Wait, so
All
you,
niche.
you have the, just so I understand, you have the AI doing the live transfer calls to your reps, right? Is that
Yeah. So like our system in December, our AI made 19,000 phone calls inside of our CRM. And then we have a different set. So it makes 19,000 phone calls. We do live transfers. And then anytime a new lead comes in, the AI calls it and our sales reps call it at the same time. And so we'll live transfer those leads, and then Closer Control will text those leads and set up appointments for us at the same time. And so we're hitting them.
Where those bots are?
Say that one more time.
The bots that made the 19,000 calls, is that within Closer Control, or that's a separate?
No, we use objection proof to do it. And like we had to have a guy write code to essentially make it happen the way I want it to. But if you can
Makes sense.
figure it out to do that, no one else is going to do that right now. And so for a minuscule investment of a couple grand, you can get like an output that no one else is doing at all. Like no one else, we're objection proof's #1 customer as far as outbound phone calls into our CRM. We get, for context, we get anywhere from 40 to 150 leads a day that's like new leads to us that we are calling. And objection proof calls every new lead, and then we cycle every new lead in new leads 7 days of hell. And then anybody, even if they never reached, if they didn't pick up within 30 days, our AI is still calling them as many times as we can throughout the month. And so that's how we have it set up. And that's what's going to make you a better operator, because like the gap between appointment setter and sales rep is going to get like squished down. And the appointment setting is what's going to become important. And you're going to have people in Pakistan. Yeah. And you can have great people in Pakistan, but I have an AI who will call that person all day, every day until they pick up and say, fuck off. And then guess what? My sales rep's still going to call that person once they tell that person fuck off because they picked up the phone and we know that they are willing to talk to someone. And then we're still going to get them onto the phone and we're going to convert them. And so you can use it as like a double to convert them based off of pickup rate and just based off of interest, because when it gets on the phone, it'll live transfer someone over as well.
nice?
Did you have like someone from objection proof write that code for you? Because I have it as well. So I'm just kind of curious if I have the
No.
that he has.
I had to come up with it. Then we wrote the code, and then it triggers the way it does. If you look, I did a call with Steve the other day about like how it runs. I'm building it inside of Closer Control. I'll let you know when it's done, and I should have it cycling. If you think about it, it should be like a sequence of tags that rotates over. The tags rotate forever. And so you add a tag that fires objection proof, and then the call goes out. And then it should do it inside of the opportunities. And then I have it built into each different set of opportunities. There's a different bot that makes phone calls every day. And so that's how you could have it set up, but you could build it inside of Go High Level or Closer Control without having to write code. That's the way you would do it to get it just cycling infinitely all the time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna interrupt and circle in. As you guys hear each other talk, you guys are gonna hear multiple different use cases of Closer Control, right? Stratton uses it a lot different than you, Trayjen. Zach Flood uses a lot different than Anton. But this is the room where you guys can explore more, have that conversation, understand the possibilities, because we're all trying to get to this level. We're all trying to use AI at a heavy scale, and these are the conversations that are going to have it. So, guys, ask questions. Is anyone here looking to get into cold calling in 2026? Like, is anyone going to open up more cold callers or?
Yeah, we're ditching Courthouse. We're out on it.
Okay, Anton, are you about it?
SMS crushes for us. It's been my best marketing channel since I got into it since 2020. We've ripped a lot of deals from SMS alone because it's cheap and you get a lot of leads.
What's your strategy on that? What does that operation look like, Anton? Is anyone here looking into SMS in 2026?
I'm literally launching it next week.
We've been blasting it.
I mean, Connor, the CRM is cooking with all the leads before, but like with new data and stuff, I use Flex Connect, which is Gabe Cazel's system. It's also on high level. But I've used everything, launch control, literally so many. And I used to use Roar back in the day. I think Roar was the best platform there was. And it was literally a cheat code. But it launched Flex Connect comes very close to it. But we send out 3,000 to 4,000 text messages a day. I have 2 accounts on it. One VA is able to manage it because they also have AI incorporated, so it's a lot easier. But the AI doesn't talk for as long. You know what I mean? My VA has to chime in and basically get it sent over as an appointment if that's going to be an appointment or just a brand new lead. But I mean, same thing. Data. I actually use Niche Data AI. If anyone uses that, 100 per county, pretty good data as well. Foreclosure, share of sales, prop stream, batch. Everything's the same. Everyone's trying to find the golden list, but it's literally all about marketing and whoever markets the most and spends a lot. So, but I think I spend only like $4,000 a month on it, 4 or 5 grand. It brings us at least 50 to 80 grand a month.
Anton, that system that you use, is it AI automated to send out these texts, or are you doing everything manually?
Yeah, so it is. It is. So they actually, no, it's not. The VA always schedules like 3 or 4 campaigns in the morning, and it's sent out every hour and a half, just a little to separate it. And I think it's like 500 per batch, right? So she's able to send like 3 to 5 campaigns. Usually it's around 4, so that's 2,000, sometimes a little bit more if she can handle it. But AI really helps a ton on that, especially on responses.
What is it, a Zeitblast? You said Zeitblast or no?
No, I use Flex Connect.
What? No. Okay.
Yeah. It's also go high level, but it's low. I mean, it's obviously rebranded. It's done a little bit different. I do like it for some. I don't know how, but you don't need to have the stop opt out message at the end, and so it's kind of a cheat for me. I mean, it's been obviously makes it more realistic. You know what I mean?
Nice. Anyone have questions for Anton? He's like the
Yeah.
only guy in here that's running SMS.
Yeah, it's like the hardest part for us. Like even like there's stuff that we have to work on our SMS side, on the closer control side, because certain things are on and off on our
Well,
side.
yeah, closer control for sure. The bot, you have to train the bot differently,
Yeah.
right? So like with Flex Connect, the bot, like they're able to already like copy and paste, their the basically the training for the bot. So it's a little bit more understanding too, but it's also, it doesn't answer like closer control. The bots talk a lot more than the other one. That one just kind of does the beginning 3 to 4 steps, and then after that, you have to get on top of it. But I think it's
What
the
is-
best because we get like 8 to 12 leads a day from it.
Oh, no.
What's the transition from a brand new lead on the SMS? Like, are you guys getting on the phone right away, or are you guys transferring it to?
Yeah. Well, also it does get transferred to closer control, and the first text message is obviously like, my phone's a little bit busy or something like that on closer control. Can we talk here? And then basically the AI bot on closer control also talks to the seller. But then, I mean, I have it also like I store leads in multiple different platforms just because I've had it where it was just in one platform, and then either me and that person split up or something happened and I lost all of them. So now I always put every single lead in Slack. So then we have, as soon as the lead comes in, I'm able to see where the lead is. And then if it's a hot lead, I'll call it right away, or one of my sales guys will call him. If not, then the AI will do its job in closer control.
How far have you been taking your automations, Anton? Are you getting it to like pictures? Are they collecting information? Are you just
So
scheduling? appointment?
closer control does that, but not on Flex Connect. I don't do that.
You can edit your automations though. That's why I was asking how far you can take it, because everything you can customize to some extent. So instead of going through a bunch of like texts, I like to get in front of them as soon as possible. So like my next question is, when can we hop on a call, rather than can you send me some pictures on the property, so on and so forth. I want to be as quick to the lead as possible.
So I honestly I do like the fact that closer control does that, because some people would rather text. So if a hot lead comes in and me or one of my sales guys hop on the phone with them right away, if we see it in Slack, because it all goes to our phones, we'll do it. But sometimes they don't answer. You know, that's why they're texting. That's why they're not picking up the phone. They'd rather text instead. And the amount of times I've ran into that where even my acquisitions now to this day still miss out on that is because they'll call them twice, you know, triple dial them, but then they don't send a text message. I'm like, dude, this lead came in as a text message. You should at least, you know, text them if they didn't pick up. And then like I do that, and then the conversation continues through text message because some people are just more comfortable texting rather than cold calling. But I take that list and upload it obviously into the dialer, so my cold callers are hitting that, and then the SMS is hitting that. And then I'll actually circle back in about a month or two, and then rerun that list again instead of just keep buying the same data. You know, I mean, not buying the same data, just like newer, fresher data. And I get leads like that again. So
Are you tracking all of your data as well?
honestly, I
Storing it
have,
all?
yeah, I have it all like in a Google Drive, and like I'll do like, you know, 1 month I'll do vacant from prop stream, and then I'll do it again on month 3 or 4 because I think that I was talking to one of my buddies like a year or two ago, and he was telling me how PropStream, and I mean, I think all data websites have like an update where they'll load new like leads for that filter every so couple of months. So like if you're gonna pull vacant today and then you're gonna pull vacant next month, the chances are that it's gonna be the same exact lead. So you should at least have like a buffer of, I think it was like 3 to 4 months. I have it in my notes somewhere. Same thing for obviously foreclosures and everything like that too.
The only reason why I was asking, because if anybody's interested in the call center kind of thing, you guys need to be logging all of your data. You need to be checking like what lists are producing.
Well,
There's
that's why I asked you. That's why I asked you if you had like a data manager, because I know that like obviously I'm okay.
Me.
Right now I have 5 callers, but like, dude, I would not want to handle that because that would be dude, it's a headache for me just to even do it with just the SMS and the cold callers, right? And I can't really trust the VA to do that because I don't know.
It's important. It's
It's
too
logic.
important
It's
to the
logical, yeah.
prosperity of your
Yeah.
business. The
Yeah.
most important thing that you have is that information.
Mhm.
And understanding how to utilize your data to your benefit. Like, you can't trust anyone with that. To be honest, as someone that owns if you're going to run it, then the next position is get your acquisitions manager like mirroring you day to day.
Yeah.
They sit and pull data with you, stuff like that. But it's a hard position to delegate. It's a scary one to give out to somebody else.
It's
That
also a
shit keeps
skill.
me up at night, bro.
Yeah, it's a skill, and also it's something that like, again, you don't want to give all the sauce out to the team. You know what I mean? Because that really is what a lot of people struggle with is the data part, and how, because it's expensive, one, and two, you know, you got to be smart. You got to like, sometimes I will literally pull data where someone purchased a property, you know, 5 years or more, but for less than $60,000. You know what I mean? You don't really think to do that because you're like, oh, let me just pull a quick filter. But then I will literally sometimes circle back. Okay, we lock up a deal. I'll look at it, and then I'll go and literally pick those exact filters. Okay, this person bought it for 30 to 40 grand 10 years ago. It was a 3 bedroom, so I will do that, and then I'll pull all that data. And it doesn't matter if it's owner occupied or absentee, because if someone bought it for 30 grand 15, 20 years ago and it's worth 300, maybe they want, you know, some type of motivation is there. And everyone sells a house in 10, 15 years. It's like a
Norm.
yeah.
That's
Hey,
interesting.
Hey, Connor, real quick. I really, by the way, I like where you guys are going on this, Antona and Zach. It kind of brought something into my mind. What about just doing both? Training the bot, where why not just address the elephant in the room? Ask the person. Like I have my guys do this, and I'm like, ask them how they prefer being communicated with. Do you prefer SMS or do you prefer a phone call? Eventually, we're going to have to get on a phone call, but at this time, what do you prefer? And then whatever their response is, that's the fork in the road. And then it can deep dive on SMS or it can book the appointment. Does that make
Like
sense?
that.
Yeah, I do like that. I mean, closer control does kind of do that in a way, because when it does book the appointments, I sometimes like will sometimes miss an appointment, and the seller will literally call us. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, it works.
Right.
I just want to add on for anybody listening, like as you can see, like whoever, if you're deciding like what you want to do with your marketing and you haven't made the decision just yet, Like there's so many different avenues you can go: cold call, PPL, PPC. Anton's killing it with SMS, which is crazy, but that's great. He figured out a system to do it. He systematized it, and now he's making hundreds and thousands of dollars from it. So like for everybody listening, like if you're deciding what kind of marketing you want to choose, just make sure that whatever you decide you want to do, you commit to it and you actually build a system for it to run properly and stick with it. Stick with it for 6 months. Let it do its thing. It's going to be tough, but actually stick with your plan. Don't veer from the path, and you will see success as long as you make sure that you have a system for it. And I mean, Anton's a prime example, right? SMS, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like that's really hard for some people, but that's amazing.
I think it's
such good
also,
advice.
it's very important to also stick with it for not just, like you said, not just 1 to 2 months. You got to do it for at least 6 months, but also you really got to be in the trenches learning it. Like if you're going to do cold calling, don't just hire cold callers right away. You got to learn how to cold call. You got to learn, how to talk to the sellers. And I think that's honestly the best. And, if you're just getting into the business, you need to get on the phones because it's the cheapest way to get a deal, right? And SMS, I think, comes second after that because you have so many opportunities to talk to sellers. But in the beginning, I would obviously suggest, cold calling because everyone here knows that cold calling is never going away, and everyone has a team of cold callers, or had one. I think it's, again, with AI coming into it, is going to be very interesting where that goes.
Guys, real
Go
quick.
ahead. Yes.
Last thing I'm going to say, do A to B testing on this stuff. Your scripts, the information, what you're putting in front of people, your SMS, even your cold call scripts. Be as short and consolidate. All they need to do is qualify to make sure that this person's actually interested. How much information do they need to collect on your behalf? Because them going through conditions and all this stuff that your acquisitions rep is going to ask anyways is not really productive. Are you interested in selling? Do you have a price in mind? Not saying I could get to that number, but if I could put that money in your hand, is that something we could go ahead and move forward on? That's all. At 5 questions that we give our callers to ask. But sorry, Connor, go ahead.
Very good. Guys, thank you for going into that deeply on the outbound side. That's very important. I was going to go into inbound, but I do want to take a discourse, kind of ask a different question, also prompt some of the guys who haven't shared much, Austin, Trey, Jared, Daniel, Joey, speak up on this. I'm honestly curious. I appreciate the negatives, not in the way that you guys are probably thinking, but I want to know, like, what are you guys not going to do in 2026 in terms of marketing? Based on what you guys know, you guys might know insider knowledge. You guys might be able to share that. But what are you guys not going to do?
I can
I
start.
am not,
Oh,
or
go
if you
ahead.
want to go trade, I'll start also. Let's get it. I'm not going to be doing PPL nationwide anymore. That was the biggest fuck up of last year. So, and it wasn't just on the PPL side, it was also on the JV side. That was where we got our ass kicked the most. And it's funny because I was starting to build out a gigantic dispo team, and I was looking at my system and I'm like, this is just fucked right now. It's like each dispo manager for me should be managing about 5 deals at a time. And then if they're in different fucking markets, it's like I was looking through my CRM the other day and we have like 15 deals on the board and fucking one guy's managing Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, Jersey. It's like we're all over the fucking place. And that's been leading to the biggest bottleneck on the dispo side, making the dispo process way harder than the acquisition side for us. So what I realized is the nationwide, if you have a huge team and you have people that are designated to every state and you got a 50-man operation, fuck yeah, go nationwide, you're gonna fucking kill it. But to run that, like, you need a legitimate, like Zach has, call center of closers to be able to really effectively manage it, unless you're listing everything on the MLS. If you're listing it on the MLS, that's obviously another strategy you could do. But then obviously you got to know every law of every state, which ones you're going to be good in, which ones you're going to get fucked in. And that's where I've noticed the biggest difference. So what I'm doing now is what Anton's doing, Zach's doing. I'm kind of between, I have an outside person that's going to be doing the SMS for me. And then we were talking, Connor, I want to go inside closer control, probably do the lead signaling and then do some SMS and maybe try to ramp it up as much as we physically can inside the CRM. Next step from that is doing the AI callers. And the reason, heck, I tried doing not a call center, but building my own in-house call team. And it took away way too much time of me training my closers, my TCs, and everyone like managing the business. And I think it lasted 3 months, and I fucking pulled the plug on all the callers we hired and went straight into just doing the PPL last year. And now I'm getting back into doing data pulling. That's why I'm trying to do AI and texting, because I don't have to manage the people. We just have to manage the data and obviously the messaging.
Yeah, luckily I tag teamed. I had a partner that was born in Karachi, and he moved here when he was like 5 years old. Very well spoken, very well connected. I had a lot of help. If I didn't, I don't know how I would be able to manage it, because just from a cultural perspective, when you're listening to someone in a different country, whatever, like no one's actually like coming to check on you or come to the office. Like we had cameras and stuff set up. We have everything is like what it's supposed to be, but the respect truly comes from my business partner sharing the same culture as well, like being able to speak the language, understanding their holidays, all that kind of stuff. Um, the PPLs, if you were you doing lead solo?
I was doing Newly mainly, and like the leads, we were getting contracts left and right, but it was the dispo end, and they were in metros. It wasn't even like it wasn't like we were in the middle of fucking nowhere. Because when we used to run Facebook ads, every lead we would target a metro, and it would still come in the middle of nowhere. So that's when we got out of Facebook. But with
Are
Newly,
you
we're
guys
getting
pitching
them good answers.
creative on your deals at all? Are you doing like Morby method, sub two seller finance, anything like that?
I'll touch it, but I'm mainly cash. Cash is
Brother, I'm
that's
gonna
like
tell
my
you
thing.
right now, we have 10x'd our business just from creative. We picked up 120 properties last quarter creatively for almost $0 down. And we do creative novations as well. We'll just take over the mortgage. We'll pay $1,200 a month instead of paying like a hard money lender. We do a lot of deals internally as well. We are in the buyer position. So if you guys have deals that you want to sell, we're actively buying as well. If they pencil out, if we can structure terms, all I gotta say, if you guys don't know it, if you're not teaching your team this is the difference between me and you, is having another tool in the tool belt where you are exhausting your efforts for one, you're trying to convince someone, but paint a heaven and hell, give them options. And you spread it out. Here's cash, here's novation, here's a Morby method. And here's what happens if you take the cash. I can give you a little bit more time on a novation, but here's what we're going to have to do. On a seller finance Morby method, what I do is a cash out refi at 70% of the appraisal value. So they're going to get cashed out within 3 weeks for more than what they probably were going to get cash. And then I'm going to do like a 3-year balloon payment on the rest of the terms. If you can wrap your head around the creative stuff and pitch it and bundle it up in understandable terms, if it's foreign language to you, then you trying to pitch it to somebody else, good fucking luck. So if anybody here cares to want to learn, I mean, I haven't really structured anything, but I've got a lot of content, and one of my top guys, I mean, we locked down 120 unit apartment complex, 180 unit, a 40 unit, and a 22 unit last month, just from sub
Zach,
two
I feel like
seller
I
finance.
feel like with the creative finance and doing like you're finding a lot of success with the multifamily, I think is a lot easier because people that obviously are owners of something that large, they understand the benefit of it. So like we've done a lot of deals too over 5 units, but like doing like a single family, maybe even a duplex is a little bit more, I feel like a little bit harder to make sense for someone that doesn't own a lot of properties. Well, it's just in my
I
we
would
still did it.
strongly disagree. We did 630 creative deals in the past 18 months, and they're 99% single family homes
Okay.
where people are let's put this into perspective. Low equity or maybe no equity. Obviously, it's going to be a subject to kind of thing. You need to know where to dance. And again, painting the heaven and hell, pitching the cash, the novation, giving them options versus the local agent in their backyard that's like, I could give you more. How? We look at the scope of we look at appreciation, we look at the market, we look at the rents, we look at a lot of different variables, and we present these numbers in a beautiful little package to them. If instead of saying subject to or creative, what it was a short-term seller agreement or a financing agreement.
But you keep them yourself, right? You're not selling them, or
That
you're
was my
selling.
next question.
Those are really hard. So you can sell subject to deals, but when we do the Morby method, you are taking over 51% ownership equity in the property through a quick claim deed.
I think this is I'm going to jump in. It's a good time for me to talk about one of my don'ts because it's exactly
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, I don't need to take the floor either. I'm gonna stay quiet. You guys talk.
insider info here. I can't really jump into anything too crazy, but I've got some connections with some people who make some rules on this jazz. And me personally, one of my goals is not to touch any more seller finance, Morby. Actually, seller finance with 100% equity is the only thing I'll touch, but any sub 2 Morby, any of that jazz is going to be heavily frowned upon by the Q2 this year. So me personally, that's one of my don'ts. I won't JV it. I won't dispo it. I won't touch it unless it's going to go to me directly. I won't sell it to any other investors because there's going to be a lot of frowns from
Yeah, I
that.
feel like there's more lawsuits, and but I mean, so like that's why I asked. Like, I've definitely, if you're keeping them yourself, because I have those couple subject twos, and like I get a email from my attorney like last month. That, hey, we got an email from previous seller's attorney. Like, I see that you sold the property. Just wanted to let you know, but like obviously I'm not involved because I don't own it. But the dude,
All right,
2
one
years
one
later,
last thing, Anton. I'm gonna tell you, we work directly with a lender, almost as we have an employee agreement, so we get origination points on the refinance. So that's how we keep our acquisitions team happy.
No, it's
And then we keep all of the rest, and we roll it into the property as well. We keep everything. We're in a very good position cash wise this year.
Just stack doors. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like that's definitely like seller financing still is gonna be there forever, Trey.
100%.
Seller financing, like
It's the sub. I mean, sub 2 and have a
and all that stuff.
53%.
Yeah,
They had a 50% fail rate last year. So, I mean, the people who are regulating that, the banks are pissed. Obviously, when the big dogs are pissed, government has to be pissed. I mean, when you have a 53% default rate, like something has to happen, right? So, all these sailors who are selling them off, they're going to get in trouble. The people who bought them are going to get in trouble. There's a lot of negative that's going to happen with that. I'm just going to blurt out my other two things while I'm already speaking. Not going to do courthouse anymore. This month alone, we had 75K fallout just from niche data. Couldn't close because of taxes. Other heirs had claim to the property that wouldn't sign to close. So honestly, the nitty gritty BS of all that stuff's not worth it for me. I'm just going to dive harder into Facebook, either get into probably dump more money into the SMS. And then the other thing I think I'm going to really focus on this year is JVs do really well for me. I'm one of the biggest dispo guys in Northeast Ohio, but we're going to get a little more selective on stuff this year. I used to do non-exclusivity with JVs. I think just for time's sake, we're going to dive into exclusivity on JV deals this year to save a little bit of time on the back end because there's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing in this game, and when they bring you a deal, and there's a lot going on. So that's kind of a no-no for me. So those are my big 3 no's for this.
How much are you spending on Facebook?
On Facebook?
Yeah.
5K, I believe, right now, a month. Okay. So the plan was to double it in January. Obviously losing out on 75K a month.
Yeah.
And during the plans with the that side of things, but I believe March 1st we're set to double. So
Hey, quick question, Trey. Obviously I'm here in Arizona. They laid the fucking smack down recently.
yeah, no, it's bad. I don't market in Arizona anymore. No SMS, no Facebook, no. I pulled all 3 marketing channels I pulled out of Arizona. It's getting crazy out there.
Exactly. And when the smackdown is laid, people follow suit. So that's going to spread like cancer.
Yeah, it's a ripple.
It's a ripple effect. So that's going to spread across the nation. Sub 2s are going to be wiped out. So whatever you're negotiating creatively.
I'm going to disagree, Ross. I think sub 2. So there's already something at the House right now that they're trying to pass. It's not going to benefit us at all. Okay. They're trying to make sub 2 more available buyer to end buyer. So, if you put it on the market, you can then sub 2 transfer to an end buyer, and they're going to make that legal through the banks and everything like that. Okay. I actually have a friend who's pretty high up at cross country, and they're already writing policies and terms for things like that to transfer. So it could help on the novation side of things is the only place I see it helping any of us. But I think it's going to be a good system. I personally like that it's regulated a little bit more. 53% fallout. So
Quick question on that. As far as like the wedge method where you are having that initial closing, you're getting yourself on the deed. Do you think that might be a tool in the future as these regulations come crashing down across the nation?
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna get wiped out.
it's gonna,
100%.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
so.
I'm
It,
so,
it has to.
one of my buddies, well, they're not doing like that, but what they're doing is,
Conveyance transfer.
I mean, he just told me about it like last month, so it's maybe it's brand new, maybe it's already been around, but he's been killing it this way. But some sellers really need money like tomorrow, or like maybe some people need money to like move out. So he'll give them like, what is that number? 10, 15, 20 grand. He'll give it to them up front. He does go on the deed, but he locks in a price with the seller. So then it gives him the power to be able to list it on the market. And it's all recorded, notarized, recorded with an attorney, super legal, and you can literally give the seller 10 grand tomorrow, and then your LLC goes on title.
Does
You
this
have
friend
lots
live in
of-
Tampa, Anton?
No, this is
Yeah.
actually not Phil.
I heard this from one of my boys last week. The same exact thing. I told him
And-
it's crazy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about it. And I mean, it's all legit, super legit. He sent me all the paperwork, and I'm like, damn, this makes a lot more sense because now you can really help people, right? Like I have this one seller. She's like, I just need 10 grand to pack all my shit and leave, but the rest can come whenever. You know what I mean? And then
For
I think
those of you that think that creative financing is going away, that's false. There will be stricter parameters, but that's the same thing with cash. That's same thing with cold calling. That same thing with SMS. Compliance is always going to be an issue. There's been a lot of people that have made a bad name for the ones. There's a lot of good people that do things by the book. Every deal we close goes through a closing attorney. We have multiple real estate attorneys. I have 3 on my team that are fully dedicated. That's all they do.
Perfect. Yeah, I never said it was going to go away for people actually buying it. I said I think the wholesaling portion of it's going to be.
You shouldn't be wholesaling those deals. You guys need to be getting in a position where, if you're serious about long-term longevity in this industry, you're selling these properties to other people, then start picking them up yourself if you can. I mean, we're putting $0. Let me tell you one situation that we had happen. This lady's going through a divorce. She's getting deployed on Friday. She said, take this off my hands. I want nothing to do with it. These are the kind of opportunities. We're making $900 a month in cash flow without any renovations. None. On day one. If we put $30,000 into this house, it's a creative innovation for us. We're just taking over. Again, if you can do this with anything. If you guys don't like your car anymore and you go to the dealership, you don't have gap insurance. They're like, I'm going to give you 10K and you need 30. Somebody out there might be in a desperate position where, hey, you just flip the credit card name, whoever's making the payments, right? No one's going to come to you and be like, oh, your method of payment changed. That seems suspicious. As long as you're making the payments and you're on time and you're not breaking, you got to look at the contracts, prepayment penalties, due on sale clauses, stuff like that. Those will come up. So you need to be ahead of that. But the success rate is so much greater than you just need to run it through a DSCR lens. If you guys know what DSCR loans, run all of your deals through that lens. And if they pencil out cash flowing, should have no problems at all. All of our deals, we're picking up $400 plus $500 per property in cash flow a month. If not, we're not touching it at all.
I'm gonna hold 1 minute. Woody, you have.
Sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Anton, I got a question for you. Is he doing it through with the funds? Because my attorney told me it was illegal, right? Because I had a situation where they gave me $3,000 for Christmas.
We can't hear you.
Sounds muffled, brother.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we can.
My attorney smacked me on my hand pretty bad about giving someone like $3,000 for Christmas, right? Because we had to postpone the closing for like a week or not. Yeah, I know it's fucking hilarious. But he goes like,
No, it's a common thing. The terminology matters as well. Like a brokerage fee or like the way that you structure that payment is very important as well.
Yeah, it's for you literally the name. It's like
So
how you do it too. But like you should definitely have that recorded in the agreement. You shouldn't just give someone 3 grand cash or whatever. Like it should be super like everything's on paper and why they're getting this payment and what it's for. So like what I'm talking about is let's say, the seller is okay with $200,000. I'm gonna give that seller it's basically a short-term seller finance in a way, right? Because you're giving them 10 grand tomorrow, recording it with the county, and then basically you can list it on the market. They can get out, do whatever, and then you're on the deed, and then you can sell it in 6 months. You can
Escrow
sell it in a month.
is like a
What?
secondary escrow instance.
I guess, yeah, but not really. You're just essentially, like I said, it's as you're don't overcomplicate it. It's literally giving the seller some money tomorrow, giving them an exact price, writing it down, put it on paper, and then being able to put your LLC on the deed. It's like,
It's kind of like the most old school thing ever. It's a land contract.
yeah,
So
basically.
so a land contract that's like selling American soil. The seller can sell it on their terms as long as there's an upfront payment and there is basically a closing date where you're getting on the deed and they are getting a non-refundable amount. You're now you go on PropStream, it's you and the seller now. You have access to do whatever you want. If you want to refinance that, if you want to sell it, if you want to flip it, if you want to hold it, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But it's a land contract. I don't think they're
It's
ever.
like it's called an installment sale, basically. You know what I mean? That's like another word for it, another name for it. But I mean, I personally, I'm about to do my first one. It's a deal in Jersey, and the person is just looking to get some money tomorrow. It's a probate deal, so it's gonna take 3 to 4 months, but she needs the money ASAP, Rocky.
I would like to learn how to do that.
Yeah. Once he told me, I'm like, bro, that makes so much sense because then you can literally, I said, like, you don't need their permission to list the house because you're on the deed. So sign
That's the whole thing is the quick claim and taking over ownership equity. Again, the way you structure the terms and the verbiage in the contract is all up for negotiation to some extent. And holding ownership equity through the quick claim deed, there's no attorney that's going to be like, unless if this seller was like, I was under duress, they pointed a gun to my head, whatever, it's not going to happen. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I have a novation that we're doing a cash it out refi on because he wants his money like yesterday. And what's going to happen now is we don't have to he doesn't have the overall say on the decision making for anything going forward. Our contract stands in place. If we exceed the terms of the contract, now we're in a position where we, like as husband and wife, would also have to sign the same kind of paperwork. So we can go through litigation or whatever, but guess what? We have a much stronger standing in the deal than we ever had. Now we have decision making power. Now we have ownership equity to be able to move a little bit more freely. And it's helped us so much. We don't get pushback when you have leverage. It's just kind of like putting your nuts on the table metaphorically. Like it's protecting you, it's protecting the deal. Doesn't, when you're 51% ownership equity and they're 49, you do have more of a say. And in the eyes of the law, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So you guys need to look at your rules and regulations per state, per city, county. It all changes. Georgia, they protect the contracts. Like I have memorandums filed on multiple properties where people have tried to back out. You guys know how it goes. There's just other variables that come up, seller's remorse, whatever. But in these kind of situations where we get them creatively, there's no backing out. We don't have to wait with the court. We don't have to do any of that.
The attorney matters. The paperwork matters.
100%. Anton, that is the most important part is make sure you get an attorney that understands your contract and someone that closes these deals. It's not a foreign language to them. I could give you guys a list of my closing attorneys that close these deals for us. If you guys need them, they work nationwide. One of our attorneys follows us into every state that we get involved in.
That's awesome.
I'd be more than happy to share whatever information I have to give you guys an easier process as well.
Yes, guys, this is so valuable. I want to throw the ball to Jared silent killer over there. I haven't heard him talk, but I know he's got something to stay. Based on what you've heard, what do you want to add on?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for me, looking at like maybe getting into the SMS blast again, we did it way back in the day. And for me, like that, when you ask, like, what's the one thing you're getting rid of? Well, you know, I was previously a franchise that we buy houses. So that's what I'm getting rid of from year over year. Started up our own brand, only based in the KC market. A lot of other guys kind of play the nationwide game. I only operate in Kansas City. Um, focus very heavy on, you know, the brand awareness. You know, we're doing the direct mail, PPC, all that good stuff, and also really excited for like the signal sniping that comes with closure control and getting all that going. We also have a guy building a bot right now to pull our county record data. That department in alone is like a 9x ROAS, so it's a no brainer for us to stay on top of that. And we're really good at converting people that are going through foreclosure, going through probate, all those different kinds of things. But no, I mean, I'm kind of just soaking up what everyone else is doing, seeing what we might be able to implement. Obviously not going too fast and moving too many things. The interesting thing I thought he mentioned was, or Zach mentioned, was the 51% ownership, essentially buying fractional interest in sub twos. That's a really good way to get around a lot of the legal ramifications that come from it. I wonder how many times if you haven't yet, if you've ever had to take anyone to partition or anything like that, if it's gotten that bad. But no, I thought that was really cool. That was a cool tidbit. But yeah, I mean, for us, we focus heavy on the county record data, and then we're establishing our brand new brand. We've done 120 something deals, 120 plus every year since we got started. The goal for us is to get to like 150, just staying in the KC market, and then maybe expand into some other Midwest markets down the road. Just keep it rolling.
You're one of the only guys in this group that door knocks. Is that something that you guys actually focus on, or is that kind of just like, hey, I want you guys to door knock?
Yeah, we knock pretty hardcore. Even sometimes I'll knock myself if I'm just like in an area and I'm like going to run an appointment. I'll ask my guys, hey, what you got, like 4 or 5 houses over here I can knock. But yeah, we've got 4 guys full time on the team. They cold call, door knock, text, all the niche data. Yeah, I would guess we don't track it very well, but I would assume we're probably hitting about 50 to 60 doors on minimum on a probably actually closer to like 100 to 150 doors a week. We leave hangers behind and we send letters to all of them. I mean, we kind of do it like bootstrapped, if you will. We don't have a lot of the cool tech. Like I got the objection proof thing, but yeah, we love doors. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we knock on a door and they let us in and we sign a contract right there on the spot. We call it a one to not close, and it happens all the time in the right situations, especially tax sale, foreclosure. I've one knock to close probably 15 to 20 times in my life, and our guys will go in, knock, they'll call us, be like, yo, this guy's ready. He wants to sell. He's, run the equities. We'll mass run comps. We'll sign a contract right there on the spot. It's not as often as everything else is, but no, the door knocking is super powerful. We're kind of taking a shift this year. Instead of like volume knocking, we're doing very focus based knocking where we're only knocking the best of the best stuff. We used to knock everything and anything just to see if there was opportunity. Now we're only knocking highly targeted stuff that we know we can buy, that we know we can profit on. And then we're also spending a lot of our time this year focusing on trying to get better at just deep skipping. And, our time knocking will not be just knocking, someone's house because they're in foreclosure. And now we're going to be knocking their brother, their sister, their cousin, especially when there's a, 300K rip sitting there, 300K equity sitting there, like focusing on those kind of things to get a lot more value. And just like when we have those in-person conversations and you can build that rapport, I mean, the hook is just set so deep, but there's no competition. I mean, there's none. Our average profit's like 25, 26K per deal, which is really healthy for a typical wholesale company from what I understand. And so we go into deals all the time where they're not even talking to anybody else, specifically on our county record stuff. Obviously, PPC direct mail, you're going up against a couple guys every single time. But yeah, we love knocking. We're big.
Jared, how are you bucketing your data? How are you bucketing your niche data? Are you getting it from Data Syndicate, or where do you?
So very bootstrapped right now. So we have a bot guy building a bot right now to pull it all automatic and import to closure control. But previously it's been a VA in the Philippines. He clocks in at 5 a.m. and pulls everything. And then he does like a weekly audit at the end of the week. He'll go and check the court cases, make sure he didn't miss anything. We pull probate records, foreclosure records, eviction records, and we used to pull divorces, but we kind of stopped. And then tax sale season is our best. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys pursue tax sales like heavily, but like our average profit on a tax sale is like 40 grand. It's stupid. And it's like, there's so many and it's like you just get flooded with 100% equity distressed deals. It's like it's the best. It's like our best time ever. Like we all screw off and play golf after tax sale season's done because it's like we get a bunch of rips and. But yeah, no, we do it all manually right now. But we're focusing on changing it. Wow.
Where does he pull it? Like what website specifically? Is it like he literally looks up your county and then probate or
For which kind of record?
for I mean for tax sales, for example, for all of them.
So like we have we have 9 counties that we operate in. So for us, it's kind of tricky because each county, like especially smaller counties, they release the list and there's like a local newspaper publishing every single year. And so we try to get it ahead of time to get it in front of it. Like, for example, we put in, they're called FOIA requests, where you can put in a request with your local county, register of deeds or tax assessor. You can FOIA request, okay, I want every record or every property that's 3 years plus delinquent in property taxes. Depending on if you can get to the right person, sometimes they'll give it to you ahead of time because that's what sets the sale in August. If they're 3 years plus delinquent, they're going for sale in August. So we try to request the data ahead of time. We haven't had great success. We're still working that angle, but no matter what, you get the list about 5 weeks beforehand. And we do a lot of deals where we will work it, try to close the cash as fast as possible. I don't do novation. They're very much creative. I'm pretty much all cash, a little bit of creative, no novations. And then we'll pay off people's tax bill all the time. And just to buy them time to sell us the house, we'll have them sign a mortgage at closing. And we're the only lien on title. So if they don't, they sign a mortgage ahead of time. For example, if we're giving someone an $8,000 loan, it's 0 interest. We'll go pay off their taxes to give time for title to get through for closing. And then if they don't perform, we can obviously foreclose or, we sometimes do deed in lieu as well, just in case they don't perform. We've not had to do that yet because I don't want to take someone's house for an $8,000 loan, but everyone's performed, thankfully. And then we get multiple deals that come in down the road. They're usually our best ones are usually the ones that are like super hairy that have to go through probate. You got to track down 7 heirs. That's usually where we get our best rips, but it's all just from the actual tax assessor themselves and usually the local newspaper publishing. And then we used to have our VA scrape it. Now we just throw it in a chat GPT and then they scrape the entire list, get it ready. We upload it to PropStream, take the list from PropStream, send it over to Skip Genie, Skip trace it, and then we manually finger dial and text every single one of them. And then Skip Genie gives you a deceased label as well. So if they're deceased, like we deep skip the shit out of them right away. Last year, I think we had like 50 or 60 that were confirmed deceased, and we got like 8 of those that we ended up buying.
What's deep skipping?
How long does it take you to close deals like that, Jared?
I mean, the ones that need to go through probate, we usually have like a 45-day lead time from filing to clear title. So those are about 60 days. But the typical deal that we close, I think, if I had to guess, our average closing time period is about 3 weeks from contract to close.
If there's a will in place,
it's different based on the law. So here in Missouri, if the decedent's been dead over 12 months, the will's irrelevant. If it's sub 12 months, you can take the will and file for a probate estate. I hate doing probate estates because it opens up my sellers for opportunity for debtors and creditors to file claims against their estate and pull money out of them. And so it just depends on the situation. But with a will in place, I can still get it done in 60 days typically.
okay. And those are
We
pretty
buy
easy
too. We don't just
conversations
wholesale.
usually.
Oh, dude, yeah. I've probably paid for at this point in time. I probably paid like lifetime $300,000 to $400,000 of people's probate fees just to file probate. Something like that. I don't know the exact number, but probably at least 300 grand in probate fees. That's since 2018 though. So it's, not a lot, but yeah, we take people to probate they don't have any money. So it's like, how do you get them to the closing table? And then you come in and you're willing to pay it. They take our deal every single time. No competition. That's how we're getting our rips that we're getting.
Damn.
And we're hyper focused in just Kansas City. We don't venture outside of KC at all.
I think Joey was spot on with that earlier. It's like, it does, there is value in a nationwide approach to some extent, but where a lot of people fail is trying to be the best in certain areas rather than being the best everywhere. It's impossible. Obviously we're all in different sides of the country, New Jersey, Missouri, Atlanta, California, so on and so forth. And for us to even think about what kind of team would need to exist, especially from a disposition standpoint, if you're getting 30, 40, 50 deals a month in new areas, new territory, stuff like that, the relationships need to stay consistent. That amount of work that you put into the dispositions for one deal versus you getting involved in the market and you work with someone that is looking for 3, 4, 500 properties a year and you're just spoon feeding those deals. The success rate, the close rate is 10x greater, and your process now your manpower is significantly lesser as well. I like that you guys keep saying this stuff too, because we do a lot of inbound nationwide in very densely populated areas, and there's deals that even 400,000 plus population, we're sitting there for 14 days trying to get inspections, trying to get the assignment locked up. If we work in our backyard in more familiar territories, our average turnaround time 72 hours on a deal or less,
That's
because
the
we know
fucking
who we're
issue,
feeding
bro.
it to. So
That's
much
and
better.
title. Like every time, bro, the amount of title issues we had last year and deals fell out due to title, or deals took 8 months to close due to title.
Yeah.
And like issues that, bro, we have one in Memphis that we're closing, I think, next week now. We've had this since like June, I think. And it was just a wrong title company. We literally had to we were doing a quiet title action suit, and it ended up being we didn't even need to do a quiet title action suit. We were about to just quit claim and do it that way. Title company wouldn't do a quick claim, so we went to a new title company. They reran it, and they're like, "Oh, you just have to do 2 affidavits of airships, and you guys are good." So we literally 6 months later we found that shit out, and it's only like a 14K rip, bro. This wasn't even like a gigantic deal. So
That's
my
always the case.
girl, and then it's like we get, bro, they're worse, but the
Worst.
best, because when you have like Jared, he's in fucking Missouri, right? Like you probably have some dope ass title companies that you've built your relationships with. So when these title issues come up, they know exactly how to deal with the probate. You have the best probate people out there, probably. And that's what I realized with the nationwide model is like we finally find a good title agent. And now I can't even give you business for another month or two, or maybe 6 months sometimes, because now my next lead takes me into a different state. And now I'm not back in this market. And it's like I'm building buyer relationships, can't stay with them. It's like every fucking day it's something new. And that's where, for me, the biggest issues have been coming in. And the amount we probably would have done at least 1 million last year just off of if our title issues didn't come up and our fucking deals didn't get delayed or canceled from us not being able to fucking figure shit out on that end. Which is not
I
the
think
right
one of
terms.
the things too that we do really good is I had a really shitty title company in the beginning of my career, and I learned like the ins and outs of title in my states. Like I think I know it better than most title agents do, most attorneys do. I know probate better than 90% of probate attorneys out there. Like I tell someone what they need to do through probate, and then they go talk to an attorney, and the attorney's like, yeah, that motherfucker knew what the fuck he was talking about. They come back to me and like imagine the rapport that I have going into that deal right then and there. Because like, yeah, that's exactly right. And so like like I had one time I had paid for a consulting with my probate attorney. It was like, I think $300. I sat down with him for 2 hours and we went through, this was like 2019, this was years ago. We went through like every single statute. He like explained to me the probate statutes, and I learned all of it because like like you mentioned all your title issue deals, like we don't have that happen hardly at all. Like that's rare for me to lose a deal with title issues. And if we have title issues, the first thing I do is I'm like, and again, we're hyper local, and it's like our rips are decent locally, so we focus heavy on this. The first thing I do is I'm like, give me my title commitment. I'll read the entire commitment, and I can usually fix it instantly. Like I'm buying one right now where I'm going to have to do quiet title, and I knew right away after reading the commitment because they were tenants in common, mom's dead. I'm buying it for 10 grand, so they don't want to file probate over 10 grand. And so I'm going in, taking it, and then I'm having them sign affidavits to waive their interest in the quiet title suit prior to close. So that way I could file for it and get it done in my name in like 3 weeks. And I've got buyers lined up at like 30, 35.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Jared, is you have to be more informed than your closing attorneys. You have to identify the problems before they become, just like with your sellers, overcome the objections before they become a problem. If you know that there's, if you're dealing with a short sale and a lender and this, that, and the other, that how many times, again, do you have to like follow up and make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing from the closing attorney side? You're doing more of their job than they are themselves.
Oh, dude, there's no need for me to even use a title company. It's just a place to close. Like it's so funny. Like, for example, like when we get a deal under contract in probate, like most wholesalers will sign a contract and just send it. and then just like hope for the best. And I'm like, no, I go and literally when we have like a really good deal, like I know there's money to be made there, I'll go look at their title myself and verify, okay, this person owns it. This person's the right point of contact. They have a mortgage. We get a third party authorization signed ahead of time. My TC orders the payoffs. We don't even rely on title to order payoffs because it's just like we know that like if we rely on them, they will do it. But we know if we solely rely on them, we're going to run into a deal that falls apart because we didn't do it ourselves.
Oh, genius.
And like
that would save me a lot of headache. That's been my
yeah,
biggest.
my third party authorization authorizes 4 people. It authorizes me, my 2 title agents, and it authorizes my transaction coordinators. So any of us can call any of the banks, any of
You're
it.
ordering it when you're ordering the title search when you put it under contract.
It depends on the situation. We don't put foreclosures under contract unless we intend to close, like with an active sale date. So unless we intend to buy it, we don't put those under contract. And then
saying
we
just
have due
regular old
diligence.
cash.
If it's one we know we're going to move and we're good, then yes. If it's one that we're 50-50 on, we hold escrow until we assign the buyer. Just because I don't want my title agent to get distracted when I need them working on other shit, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I just feel like, I mean, I keep track of every deal, obviously we closed, but what we lost, and we lost almost 100, and I think it was 180 last year, and just stuff that couldn't close because of title issues. So I've been trying to figure out a way to kind of circumvent that because it would save a lot of headache and pre-planning. Obviously you're doing marketing, budgeting, things like purposely call marketing here, right? You're doing marketing, budgeting, you're trying to plan stuff out. And when you have like January, for example, you have 70K fall through, it'd be nice to have kind of a method in place so you're not hitting that point. Obviously the buyers get upset when you sell them a deal they can't buy. We get upset, acquisitions team gets upset. So that's a pretty smart play.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Got-
it's what's worked for us. I mean, we've had great success with it. We stayed afloat when most of the other guys last year, it's funny, we were down like 30% year over year in closed deals, but we were only down 4% year over year in profit. And like, that was really, really cool. Cause like we basically did like 30 less deals year over year, but we only dropped profit 4%. Our average profit went from 23.5 to 28,000 last year. And so it's like purely focusing on our market. We know, we're comfortable where we're comfortable at. And that's like always been my motto. Like, I know a lot of nationwide guys and like it seems attractive, but I'm like, man, this works for me really well. And I'm like, there's pros and cons. Like, I like the fact that I only have to operate in Missouri. We're about to be on my TV commercials start in March. So it's like, it's kind of trying to hyper focus the local market. I think I can get to a point where we do 200 plus deals a year in KC if I really want to get it there. I think it's very possible.
Well, KP, go ahead, Moody.
Right? That's my struggle is building out a team because I'm hyper focused in Connecticut. Connecticut people are just fucking retarded. Like I'm so serious. Like it's ridiculous. Like you can't have it's a 1-man team on the sales side. I had 2 acquisition guys that make me want to rip my hair out. I'm gonna look like Joey honestly in 2 months if it's.
This was title. This was fucking title and wholesaling New Jersey.
I don't
bro.
have the same issue in Connecticut with title, right? With title companies, right? Because it's an attorney state. So I always hire a seller's attorney, right? That can't litigate. My attorney could litigate. So every time I get on the contract, first thing I tell the seller, I'm like, hey, don't. So I have this.
Come closer.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, like for Connecticut, right? I don't have title. Like we don't have the same title company issues because it's a seller's attorney and the buyer's attorney. I hire a seller's attorney that can't litigate, and my attorney can litigate. And right away, we tell them like, hey, since you signed, I just want to let you know if you guys don't write acquisition.
Is it hiring in-person talent that you're trying to do right now? Have you tried virtual?
Every deal is in person. Like my close rate in person is 50%. You know what I mean? If I'm in front of that person, they are signing. You know what I mean? Either in person or within like 72 hours. So for me, it's all about being
belly to belly on everything.
What's up?
I said we're belly to belly on everything too, for the most part.
Eric,
Yeah.
were you the one that was talking about the door knocking?
No.
I do door knocking, yeah.
I want to hear those metrics because, to your point, how do you say your name? Mahum?
Call me Moody.
Moody. My bad, brother. I couldn't agree more. If you can get in front of someone with a live contract, wet pen to paper, there is no better. Like you'll 10x your ability to close. But how are you prospecting? Are you pulling again like what Jared's doing, very niche data? Are you setting up appointments or?
doesn't matter, right? Like my conversations in person, like I'm not qualifying them because they've already been qualified. You know what I mean? Like it's like I have a 6 pillar rule, right? If 4 of those 6 pillars are hit, my conversation in person is lasting no more than 7 minutes, and I am in person within the next 48 hours. Like I don't care if it's the crack of fucking dawn or at 8 p.m. I am there, shaking hands, kissing babies, right? I go in there. It's very simple. I run them through the process. I already prepped them. Right. I tell them like, look, if everything works out right there in person, are you ready to move forward? Oh, I need to talk to my husband and wife. So what time is your husband or wife going to be there? Okay, let's do that. I'm like, okay, so if he's on board or she's on board, are you ready to move? Yeah, absolutely. Right. So I'm lining up a contract already with a sale price in mind. Right, and then I beat them down from that sale price that's on the contract based off the condition I'm getting it signed, right? But the problem is that there's no dogs in Connecticut, so I'm trying to figure out, okay, like how because everybody here says we. Like I have my partner, right? Me and my partner, like we own a real estate brokerage. He manages a real estate brokerage. I manage the our investment side of things, right? I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck did you guys do that? You know what I mean? It's the hardest thing ever to wrap around.
What's your hiring process and your training process? Like, how much time are you putting into these people when you bring them in?
Well, I mean, the first 48 hours are like face to face, right? You know what I mean? Like, and besides that, everything is monitored, viewed. Like anytime I hire someone for the first 30 days, they're staying right behind me, right in the office, right? And I'm just listening, hawking it down, right? But I'm just trying to understand, like, okay, how do you guys do it? Because
I'm
my
gonna be
company is
honest.
5 people.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I mean, I've had my acquisitions guy for 8, 9 months, and I'm still training him every day. I mean, you got to think about it like this: how long did it take you to become a dog? You know what I mean? It took me 2 years to be like spot on every time. Take a call while I'm dropping a load, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Don't even think about it. You got to look at it that aspect. No matter how good you are and how much you train, they're still gonna learn. They're still gonna change. I mean, dude, the way I do things now is so different from a year ago, let alone 2 or 3 years ago. So the training never stops. But I mean, when I brought my guy on, he listened to me make calls 8 hours a day for the first week. I listened to him make calls for the next week. And it's just it's not feedback at the end of the day, it's feedback every call.
Every lead, every deal that
Every
comes in.
call.
Yeah.
Every call. Because you got to think about it like this. I always realistically, I think about it like training a dog. You correct the dog when it makes a mistake in that moment, not later, right? Because the dog is going to be like, what the hell did I do? But if he's on a call and he makes a mistake and I say, hey, why did you go this route with, this feedback they gave you in this objection? Why didn't you do this? When I tell him that right there, he's gonna be like, oh, okay, I see what I did. But if he makes that mistake at 10 o'clock and at 5 o'clock, I'm like, hey, dude, by the way, on that call earlier, that dude's dialed 100 more people since then. He's gonna have no idea what I'm talking about. So for me, that was the biggest thing in training my guys. Every single call and every single mistake, it was addressing it right there. Because it's just like a dog. You got to correct it there. They're gonna have no clue what the hell they did wrong.
Yeah, that's you know what it is. I think that's just like a fear factor for me to like remove myself out the business. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
and
it's the
just
hard, it is genuinely, it is the hardest thing in the business is taking yourself out and having the trust for somebody else. I mean, dude, for all of us, these are our businesses we've built from the ground up with nothing, with nobody, right? So it's like our child. I look at it as like a fucking child. I raised this thing from the ground up from nothing. And for you to go ahead and hand over your child to somebody else, it's nerve wracking, dude. So, and I would be lying if I said when you remove yourself out of the business to train that killer, you're going to see a dip.
oh, huge.
I don't know about any of you guys in here, but when I took myself away from the business, there's a dip, right? It's not the top dog on the phone every time handling everything start to finish, right? You're training a guy and putting trust in a guy, and he's gonna have hiccups, he's gonna have bumps, my guy's fucked up more times than I count on two hands, but it's a part of the game, right? I'm a
Yeah.
big proponent of buying back your time and hire
You
somebody who does.
should I feel like you should still like I'm in the trenches every day because again like yeah I see sales guys and acquisitions guys as like just more money like for your business, but me personally you obviously still make way more money when you're locking up the deal and you're selling, like dude, like I'm still getting my own deals, making my own money. Cause like I also try to let them know, like, yo, I don't need you. This is an opportunity for you to make money, to learn. Obviously we can make money together and grow, but like I'm still gonna eat no matter what because I have bills to pay, right? So like I feel like when you are hiring people, it should be more so like you don't need a huge team either, right? Like you just need some one or two or three killers on your team that are adding an extra 50 to 70 grand to your business, right? And that's it. And then they're making money, they're making 8 to 10 grand, and that should be your focus too, is to give them more opportunities. And then it should be more so like, I want you to make money because you already made the money and you're in a position, you put yourself in a position where you can do multiple things, right? And that's like kind of my mindset whenever I hire people, and they fuck with that, like genuinely, because they see me coming from a genuine spot. Like, no, you're not here to make me money. Like, we're making money together. You're learning on my dime. I'm paying for all the marketing, X, Y, and Z, all the systems. All you got to do is pick up the phone, start dialing, right? Um,
Are you
but
guys
me
closing?
personally, I'm still in the business, dude. Like I'm still ripping deals myself because that's where I make the majority of my money.
Like
No matter
I'm
what.
on the phone. I'm on the phone from like 9 a.m. right to 8 p.m. 6 days a week. Like you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I'm on the
I'm not saying you should be completely. I'm still on the same phones, right?
Yeah,
What I'm saying is now, Anton, are your guys closing for you, or are they just kind of the information?
closing. Yeah, no, they're closing. Yeah, they're
Okay.
getting their
So
deals. I send a contract, you know what I mean? But or
yeah,
they'll send it out themselves. But yeah,
same boat. And the other thing, Moody, is I let my acquisitions team know all the time, like you guys are supposed to close, but if you need, I call it the president bump. So we've seen it be really powerful where an acquisitions guy struggling to close a deal, it's kind of teeter tottering. When an acquisition guy goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you on the phone with the president so you can have a conversation with him. That has been crazy. So when you position it like that, and your acquisition guys have that crutch of like, oh, Moody can hop on and help the close. It's like, I mean, I sold cars in college, man. We called it a manager TO. And you have the big dog come out of the office, and their high horse, like, hey, Mr. Customer, I'm the big dog here. What can I do? Sellers love that because they feel important. They feel like they're getting the special treatment, the warm towel on the forehead. So you're never, ever, ever going to be removed. You know what I mean? You're just getting a crutch and a system to rely on. That's what you're building the team for. And to Anton's point, I fully agree. I mean, big teams they get too much to manage and it bottlenecks itself. There
You
is a
didn't delegate the responsibility though. I've got 14 on my team, and I have 2 acquisitions manager, an operations manager, and a dispo manager. And I have gotten to a point where I've almost fully autonomized my business without my presence. I am the glue to my team. And to Anton's point is who's going to set the pace? Who's going to show people, like, if it's not you and you're just telling people to close deals and stuff, and you don't have someone in that position that's going to go and take the reins. And to Trey's point as well, second voicing that call. Sometimes people are like, it's not even a person. Maybe it is a personality thing. Maybe there's things that you haven't addressed, but like for someone like you, Trey, and someone like you, Anton, seems like you guys have a ton of deals under your belt. And this is the opportunity that you have to immerse yourself to mold these people. My one of my top acquisitions, guys. I don't know if you guys know the movie Gladiator, where the guy's like thumb up, thumb down. I sit in front of my team like that as they're ripping calls. And if they start fucking up even a little bit, I'm like, and then we dive back into the call, like Trey said, better time. Then there's no better time than now to address the caveat. What are the objections? Where did you fail? How can you implement a better strategy and present corrective action as quickly as it's happened in front of you? Um, I see all sides of this, but I think everybody here wants to work less and work towards retirement, right? Like you guys don't want to be ripping calls every day for 6 days a week for 10 hours a day. That's not why we're doing this. Some point you do have to find that guy that you're going to put underneath you. And here's what I've been told in business. Don't pour into your weak people. Pour into your top performers. If people want to show up and give a fuck and do what they're supposed to do, that's where we do continuing education. I block off. We start our morning meeting at 9 a.m. We run that till about 10. Guys rip calls from like 10 to 2 o'clock. Then we go over objections for where are we at on deals. Why couldn't you lock this up? Was it a spousal objection? What was it? We look at each deal. We look at the exit strategy. We look at the pitch. We even listen to phone calls. If you're not spending the time to use the dialer, especially, it records all of your stuff. You see their notes. You can analyze all of this data.
Guys,
More importantly, we need
just
to
1
train our
minute, guys.
guys to be good information collectors, because as long as you guys close, your business is never going to be in jeopardy.
Zach, give me just 1 minute. Okay, I know we are almost towards the end of the session. So thank you so much for the amazing insight and all the amazing lessons which you just shared right now, especially about pouring into the team. So since we're almost towards the end, we have something which we have planned out for all the operators in this session right now. So before we move into that one, I have like a quick, you can say like a one-line question. This is something fun which I wanted to do as this is like a question for everybody. So based on, I could say, you know, what your experience with Closer Control, based on your experience working with the Ruecker brothers. I know some of you guys have been working with Closer Control for quite some time. I know some of you guys have been pretty new over here. What would you guys say is the best way you can describe the company or the software in one word?
What one word would you use to describe software?
I mean, you can describe the company too, like your experience working with Connor and the company software. Yeah, one word. Let's go with Trayjen. Let's start with you, my man.
We'll say automated.
Good. Brandon.
Efficient.
Okay. Moody.
League.
Joey.
Say it again. Wait, say it again, Moody.
Hold on, let me just pick up my fucking thing. I
Okay.
swear, if you guys didn't hear that one, there's a problem. Here.
I actually didn't hear it.
I did not hear it at all.
Sleek.
I said we.
Everybody heard weak.
I heard weak. I heard bleak. I'm like, okay.
No.
Weak and weak.
God,
Joey.
Brandon fucking took mine. I was gonna say efficient, but we'll go with communicative.
There you go.
Ross.
I've kind of two float around. I'm gonna say operation, like a true operation. Like it's a business. Like when you see these other CRM owners, they're flying by the seat of their pants. So you have an operation going on, Connor.
Zach.
Yes. What was the question?
One word you can use to describe the Closer Control, or you can say Connor's business, working with Ruecker brothers, all of that. Just one word.
One word to describe his business.
Or the software.
Or just one word to describe Closer Control. I think that'll be easier.
I'm going to be redundant here because efficiency, I know it's been said, but just very specifically how you spend your time. If you guys have used other CRMs, like, you guys can tell a massive difference. And not to be redundant, but I can't think of a better word than what it's added for us to just the efficiency has just been fantastic.
Okay, thank you. Austin.
Describe my relationship with Closer Control. I don't know. I guess like my experience, one word would be a relationship. And then obviously like it's efficient and automated and whatnot. But Connor and I have built good relationship and just the support and whatnot. So relationship would be my word.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I met both of you guys during the True Cave. Amazing. Jared, what about you?
Well, since I'm pending all my compliance and very new, I'm going to use the word intriguing. I'm very intrigued.
Finally, Anton.
Powerful.
Amazing. So before we end this, we have one last game which I scheduled towards the end of the session. This is called an operator hot seat challenge. So basically how this thing works is 2 operators will be play at one time. So I'll ask a question. So let's say if anyone in the crowd disagrees, they can just chime in and we'll replace that operator with the guy who disagreed with. That's it. So first,
Wait. So Dion, 2 people go and then 2 people answer. If they disagree, they get cut out.
No.
Or how does
So
it
it'll
work?
be like, no. So like 2 people are going to go together. So let's say, okay, fine. If I'm going to ask a question, A or B, okay? So one person says, I agree with A. The second person also says, I agree with B. And if anybody in the crowd disagrees with them, they can just switch out. That's all.
Okay, lead us.
Okay. So first, I'm going to go with Austin and Ross. Okay. So obviously, the main question would be like, which one would you prefer? cold calling or PPC?
PPC.
Okay,
Cold calling.
Ross. Okay, anybody, if they disagree with any one of them, they can just switch their seats. That's all it is.
PPC.
Okay, so
So I just get kicked out now?
yeah.
Do we? You want us to
Crazy.
go into? You want us to go into why? Like our argument supporting it?
Yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
give,
all right,
I'll give you
so-
a 13-second spiel. There's no fluff here. PPC, they're hot and ready for me, like Little Caesars Pizza. They're ready. They're ready for my
My
call.
spill on cold call to argue trades. I started broke, so I learned it really well. It's really cheap. I can generate a lot of leads, and it's just stupid cheap. My cost per lead is stupid cheap. And I've dialed it down. It's 1 in 30 leads. I spend this much money. I generate this many leads, and it's
I
a
am
proven
paying like
system.
70 per lead right now.
Yeah, I'm not doing that bullshit where I'm buying, a fancy dinner every time I'm talking to a lead. Like, I don't know. I didn't start like that, so for me, I'm against it. It's just
Sorry, dude.
That's my
I'm picking it.
opinion.
I'm picking it up this year, dude. Don't worry.
As far as risk, I think cold calling's more risky because at any moment, what if they decide to shut that all down? They're already doing filtering mechanisms where you can't even get through. And if you're relying on cold calling and they shut that whole shit down, you're fucked. PPC, they're coming to you.
Well,
I agree.
inbound.
Yeah, inbound.
Yeah,
The
I'll be
Anton's
perfectly
got us all by the
honest with
nuts, though, because he's got the.
Nah, I mean,
got the
I
sauce.
honestly, if I were to choose, I would definitely do PPC 100%. I mean, they're hot. They're ready
SMS
to
is
go,
the
you know what I
secret
mean? So,
sauce, though. This guy's holding out on us.
yeah,
Oh, it
the
is.
SMS is some like that, you can do volume with it, but like PPC, like I love my PPC leads because you can lock them up right there and then. You know what I mean?
One call closes.
Cash conversion. It's
Hey,
all
we're
about,
doing
it's all about the cash
six.
conversion cycle.
We're doing 6 figures on our SMS utilizing closer control.
SMS is the goat.
Yo, Russ.
That's to keep the guys busy when there's no inbound coming in.
Yeah. Can I,
Neon, I'm taking Austin's seat. Austin, you're out, buddy.
I don't want to disagree, but I want to add, I think it depends on where you're at in your journey and in your
I
business.
agree,
'Cause
Brandon.
I've seen so many
Alex.
people. I've
Alex.
worked with so many third-party companies that I've helped that are no longer in business because they only did PPC and they ran out of money because they couldn't convert. So I do think PPC is amazing, but if you're beginning, be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're a
100%.
beginner,
Even if you're more experienced too, I actually know an operator, that happened to 6 months ago. Dude was running PPC, made some money in the beginning, but then went on a cold streak, right? And he doesn't have any other leads, any other deals to work, so he's no longer in business.
Okay, so we got Austin replaced. Now we got Trayjen and Ross. Okay, so I'm gonna give 2 options. So let's say whichever the option you guys choose, and whoever the mass operators over here disagree with, he gets replaced again. Okay. So now it's gonna be Ross versus Trayjen. Quality leads or quantity leads?
Quality. Yep.
Anybody disagree? No. Okay.
Wait, what was it? Quality versus what?
Quality leads versus quantity leads.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's like the same thing with deals. Do you want to close 2 absolute bangers every month, or do you want to close 10?
Exactly where my mind went.
5
80 fucking contracts on your board to close 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
talks about contracts. It's like, what about net profit?
Yeah, I don't give a shit about how many contracts I sign. I'd rather do 2 25K deals than 5 10K deals. Yeah.
It's a nightmare. You're putting the same amount of effort and energy and the heartache that comes with it, and it's just smaller spreads. Just go bigger, quality, always quality.
and the shitty deals take up all your time and kill your pipeline.
Oh yeah.
Do that.
And they complain the most too.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm
Okay.
making 5K. Shut up.
Okay, guys. Next one. Better follow up or more leads?
Better follow.
It's all in the follow up, fellas. All in there's some reason we're all in this damn call, isn't it? We're all in this call because we wanted good follow up. That's the whole reason we're in this thing.
If you have more leads and you don't have good follow up, you're throwing away a lot of money.
True. Next question. Facebook ads or Google ads?
No brainer.
ROI. ROI.
Yeah, ROI is Facebook, especially unless you're a creative genius. There's no reason to be in Google.
That's what we do. Everything is creative.
I mean, Google, if you're going to Google and you're only like me, you're doing cash innovations, you're going to just burn a piss ton on Google.
I disagree with that.
I'm going through that right now.
Hell yeah.
Hey, we got a switch.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that so heavily, dude. My first month with PPC's one lead made me $125,000.
On Google or on
That's that Connecticut spread right there.
Or-
That's exactly why we're getting data in Connecticut right now.
I'm coming into your market.
Shut down.
Wow.
And there's enough to eat for
Massachusetts.
everybody.
Okay.
That was
So
a
we
New
got-
Jersey deal, right?
What's up?
Moody, that was a New Jersey deal, not a Connecticut deal, right? Push them into a different market.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was Texas, man. That was Texas. But no.
that was
Okay,
a
guys.
cash deal.
Oh yeah, it was cash. I buy
Dude,
everything.
I'll tell you what, for that rip, you can sure as shit have my spot. You earned it. You earned it.
Okay, so now we have Moody and Ross, right? Okay.
Yep.
Scale fast or stay lean?
Stay like
Okay. Anybody disagree? Nobody? Okay. Okay. Virtual wholesalers or backyard wholesale?
Backyard.
virtual.
Virtually backyard.
I'm gonna be honest,
I would
boys.
go virtually in the backyard, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this is a hybrid. I mean, obviously virtual is good, but then you look at some people. I like to use this example: backyard of Cleveland, Akron, Canton. I do like 5 to 7 dispo deals a month in my backyard just because I know the market so well. So I think honestly both is a super necessity.
With
Okay.
with virtual, you can send boots on the ground. So if they need to see someone face to face, I'll call an agent, get them there. They can sign with the agent as my team member, whatever. You can even get little name tags made up. And if your market goes to shit, where they have all these crazy regulations, what now? Right? You always got to think. I don't like thinking about doomsday, but definitely keeps like what if, on your mind. Virtual, you could jump from this market to this market to this market, build out your power team, and you're good to go.
Ross, are you doing ovations?
Yes. Not as much anymore. I got crushed on them in 2025. I don't want to. I got to bring out the box.
Dude, 25 was a big hit for everybody.
The novation game.
I'll tell you guys about novations, 5-star school districts, naval base, military bases, proximity to those. Be more specific about what you're putting money into and what you're promising. If you're looking, for instance, like I only take on novations, I'll only put money into a novation where there's a huge demand, where time on market is less than 30 days, less than 60 days. We outsource everything. We hire, rock star agents, ones that sell 120 plus properties a year. In again, school districts and demand. If you're close to a hospital, if you're close to a military base, easy as shit to sell these deals.
Why are you
If
putting
you're-
money into them up front though, instead of just doing a seller credit? I've done a seller credit on every novation I've done instead of putting money up front. That just mitigates your risk.
Wait, guys. Oh, I think we are going a little bit off topic.
We can talk about innovations all day.
We can always talk about innovations. I'm pretty sure we're gonna host another round maybe next month, but yeah.
Gosh, I talked 2 minutes and Dion cut me off.
Hey, there's your topic for tomorrow. Innovation.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you.
Lord.
Okay, so who we still have left? I know we have Moody and we still have Ross, right? Did anybody switch or disagree with them? No? Okay. So next one. One market or multiple markets?
One.
Okay.
Tell you is one, and that's you can do so much damage in one market.
We
Completely
do,
agree.
but I
I'm
have
gonna give you a
13
disagreement.
I have 11 people on acquisitions. We can't just work in one city.
Why not?
You could fire like half of them.
No, not when we're pulling 30 to 40 contracts a month. We're projected at over $500,000 this month on the 3rd. We had 15 contracts get signed since Friday of last week.
That's what's up.
This
Hey.
thing's insane.
And
Okay.
I can show you my HUDs. I'm not the person
No,
that talks
you
shit.
have
I will
my
show
thought.
you
You
my
have my
HUDs.
thought.
Go ahead. I think
But how do we define
Yeah,
market? What if
okay.
you just do? What if you just do like Moody, statewide Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Like a full state that could be a market. You could fuck up even with a team of 11 closers and just take over an entire state. Obviously in the right areas, but
Ross,
Even
I'm
just
going to negate you here. Think
Yeah.
about it, though. Just a devil's advocate, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna
People
tell
who
you
want
guys
market
one thing
rate-
that I don't tell anybody at all. Where all of you guys have gotten fucked up in the past.
middle sentence. Can I finish my sentence, please? I mean, like,
Go ahead, Trayjen.
good God. So what I was saying, you think about people who are in one market, one state, right, Ross? You had people who were state warriors in South Carolina, right? You hit big, massive regulations in that state, and it knocks you out. So that's why I think multiple markets are super important. You know, there were guys who were wholesalers in South Carolina, weren't smart enough to pick up on the double closes or any of that stuff, right? They got wiped, silly wiped because of regulations. That's why I think, you know, even if it's not 100 markets, you know, having backup markets to jump to, that way you don't sink is, I think it's super crucial.
Oh, I get that. It makes sense, right? Like, I mean, look, for me, it's a little bit different because I'm 90% of those deals I'm closing on myself. If not, I'm
Mhm.
trying to elevate them before I even think about wholesaling them. You know what I mean? So for me, like being in Connecticut, you know what I mean, just focusing on the whole state of Connecticut, maybe dripping into Massachusetts, maybe dripping into Jersey here and there, once every blue moon. That's okay. That's cool. But like for me, like I have my I have my full contracting arms out here, right? I have, you know, I
Right,
have my
right.
connections with the town and whatnot. The money's green here. You know what I mean? I have
You are closing on yourself.
I'm closing
Occasionally.
on all of them. No, all of them.
Oh,
Like
good, good, good.
Mhm.
like like I'm
Very
telling you, like,
valid.
yeah, like the only time I'm not closing on something, like I just wholesaled one, right? Because it was spread thin and the guy wanted to hold it, right? Like I'm not. I know Zach is probably gonna freak out when I say this, but I'm not holding anything. Like there's
Right.
no in my portfolio. It is straight burning and turning anywhere from 6 to 11 properties per month. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
what we're.
then exactly right. My case isn't a good use case, right? I
Yeah,
was
you're
speaking
wholesaling.
more of
You're
the wholesale side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but even if we like even anytime we do a wholesale, like we're always going for a double close just to be as legitimate as possible. I don't pay those extra fees, right? Just to pay those extra fees, but I'm doing that with novations, right? Like I'm doing we're doing a conveyance transfer, right, on every single one of them. And the way
100%.
yeah, like I'm doing a conveyance transfer, and then what we do is like, hey, for the conveyance transfer, like if you have bad credit, we'll hire you a credit specialist for 6 months that will pay for, right? We'll pay for your storage unit, right? We're going through everything, but again, that my innovation is like a weird scale. Like it's from A to Z, getting your life back together, right? But like my guaranteed net profit is at least 65,000 every single innovation. You know what I mean? So I don't mind paying that money up front. Yeah, I do credit.
What are like list prices out there?
Oh wait, Trayjen,
I,
I'm gonna
Hey,
hijack
that's
you
my,
again
I
back, man.
promise that's my last question. Connor,
Okay, go ahead.
Connor held me by the throat and said, "Ask questions."
it really all depends. Like we just sold our last flip, right? We purchased it for 220, right? It was a single family in Gales Ferry, right?
Okay, so yeah, I didn't know if you were like just working in $1 million markets out there or just kind of mid end. That's all I was curious on.
Well, no, we don't like. I mean, I don't mind going up to like $1 million market, right? But I'm really like looking to novate those more because they're probably in pretty good shape. But like, I'm going for like single family homes. You know what I mean? Like anywhere
Right.
like a from a 2 bed, 1 bath, all the way. Like I'm capping out at like 4 bathrooms, right, in the house. You know what I mean? Oh, my margin, I'm looking to make at least 60,000 per property. Right now, our average is about 75 to $80,000 profit per single property that we flip. You know what I mean? We have one coming up that we're finishing renovations. That's $175,000 profit on the flip. You know what I mean? So like that's what we're
Mhm.
looking to do. So if you got anything in Connecticut,
Gotcha. You're the guy.
call me.
All right, Dion,
All
I'm
right,
done.
guys.
Questions, bro.
We're
Okay,
going,
guys.
we're gonna go Trayjen Ross.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. In-house marketing or outsource marketing?
And
Outsource.
someone challenge Ross.
Yeah, somebody get this guy out of here. I'm gonna say out.
What was it?
House or outsource marketing?
In-house
Outsource.
every time. And
Nice.
in-house every time. In-house every single time.
Somebody else take a seat here. Come on.
I've done in-house, and all it was a massive distraction because it's a completely different baby, a completely different animal, a completely different machine. And what that does is take you away from high income generating activity, whatever that other thing in your business is. Massive distraction. Hire it out, take the hit, have someone that only does that, and then they feed you like a conveyor belt.
Agreed 1,000%. And before I was in real estate, I owned a marketing agency and I was a marketing director in a Fortune 500 company. I will still outsource it every day.
I disagree with you guys. I can't. I just like I like it being in house, because I'm just a control freak. Like I want to make sure I see everything. Like the only thing that I outsource, the only thing I outsource is PPC, and my PPC guy hates my fucking guts because I'm on his ass pretty much every 2 hours. Yo, like I'm seeing this, let's do this, right? But I don't want that. See, I actually want to pass it over to Jared because he's been too quiet in this.
I was gonna say I was just getting ready to call him out and say, Jared, you're like you're closing shit. What do you think on that?
I mean, for me, we're outsourcing all of our marketing for sure. The in-house stuff that we do is the niche data, and like we have a postage meter in our office, and we're literally sending letters to all of our niche data records. But aside from that, like everything's outsourced. But we send these little. We had the Hermosi AI draft all these letters for all of our probates, our foreclosures, and everything. And it's funny, the first week after we redrafted them with the Hermosi AI, we got like 3 phone calls on it just from that first week of changing it.
What's that AI called?
Nice. Any thoughts on the same thing, guys? Zach, Austin, Anton.
What's that AI called?
Alex Hermosi AI. It's like he launched it when he launched his new book like a few months ago or whatever it was, and I paid for the AI platform and all the stuff that came with it.
How is it?
Yeah, it's legit. I put like everything in business through it. It's stupid how much I use that thing.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's like Alex's brain. I mean, straight up, it's like the inside.
It's legit Alex's brain. Yeah.
Wait, like what do I search up? Like I'm so confused.
Look up acquisition.com AI and then you'll find it.
Can you still buy into it, or selling only?
I think you still can. I paid $6,000 for it flat. It might be more now, but
I think it's
when I bought it, it was
75
$60,000.
now.
Yeah, you should still be able to. It was a product he built for life. I'm sure you could still buy into it for sure.
It's like acquisition. Like, oh,
It's basic. Obviously, you know who Alex Hermosi is, right? I'm assuming it's like so. Yeah, it's like basically Chat GPT, but straight Alex Hermosi and Layla Hermosi. Like it, and it takes longer to respond, but the response is like it's like you're talking to Alex Hermosi, basically.
Does it respond in his voice?
No, I've never tried to talk to it. That'd be kind of cool. I talk to Chat GPT all the time. I'd be curious if I talked to the Hermosi AI, if it would be Alex or Layla that would respond.
But back to the outsourcing real quick. I think it just matters if you have a target ROI and you can hit that with the outsourcing and save yourself the time from having to do it all yourself, then why wouldn't you at that point?
Nice. Austin, Anton, any thoughts on the same? In-house marketing or outsourced marketing?
I'd go outsourcing all day. I agree.
Outsource it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I
And last
manage my
question.
own VAs,
Oh,
and it's
sorry.
not. No, it's not fun to me. Like no matter what you're doing, if you're running your own ads or if you're going outbound and managing VAs, none of that's fun, in my opinion. So save the time.
Okay. Now this is gonna be the last question, so no more hot seat. We're just gonna you guys can choose. I'm gonna give you 2 options. Just choose the 2 options. It's gonna be a little controversial, but Connor Rueca or Alec Rueca?
Alex never answers my phone calls, and he's only ever returned one. I'm going Connor because at least he'll text me back instantly and call me later in the day.
Okay, 1 for Connor.
I've never spoken to that Alex.
Go with Connor.
3 for
I'm going
Connor.
Connor. I don't know
Rueca.
Alec yet, so Connor's my man.
Alec is great. He's a great salesman. Connor's new name is CC. Assistant Connor. He's all about the
Nice.
goes well with your closer control. Let's go, Connor.
I know Moody had like a 2-hour sales call with Alec.
Dude, I fucking ripped it, dude. I was like, he's like, how's your day? I'm like, dude, it's 8:00 at night here. Let's get to the chase. Oh, I have it recorded and everything. Look at it. I'm like, damn, I really feel bad. Hasn't texted me, hasn't called me ever.
That's that East Coast.
I was
No,
just about to say that, bro.
Get to the point.
I think who are we missing? Like I think Jared and Anton we're missing, right? I guess.
I'd have to vote Connor.
Connor.
The most communication with Connor. Yeah.
Well, guys,
Thank you,
you
guys.
so much for the session. I'll keep this short. Obviously, if one thing I hope came to tonight is that there is actually no magic channel. So every channel works and every channel fails depending on what happens after the lead comes in, right? So the operators who win aren't just chasing tactics. Obviously, they are enforcing like speed, follow-up, and accountability when it actually gets boring. And what actually breaks most business isn't lack of communication, it's just, you could say, lack of operations or discipline. So if you took anything tonight from today's session, let it be this: stop asking what marketing channel works, start asking whether your operations built to support any channel at all. So with this, I'm going to end my part. Connor, take it away. Please end the session for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for this 2 hours. This is absolutely phenomenal. We're definitely going to do it again. I'm glad you guys all were able to hang out, talk shop, laugh with each other, challenge each other. That's what we're trying to build Closer Control to be. We want a community amongst you guys. And I'm glad it went exactly like this. And I want you guys all to, text your name in the chat so everyone knows who is who. Connect with each other, ask each other more questions. You guys actually all do deals. I'm serious. I didn't bring in anyone here that doesn't do deals. Some of you guys are super new on the system. For example, Jared just joined on. Same with Joey. Some of you guys have been with us for a very long time. I think Zach has been with us the longest in in this group right now. So guys, this is amazing. Thank you guys for so much for coming on here. And we'll see if we post this on YouTube. This is, in my opinion, a little bit too valuable on YouTube. And maybe if we put it on there, guys, if this helps you, watch it again, take notes, and send it to a friend. Okay? Thank you, boys. I'm super grateful. And last thing, I almost forgot. Guys, this is a Closer Control platform. Closer Control is specifically for your sellers and your buyers to nurture that relationship with them. Okay? We use automations. We use AI for the sales process. Most of your guys' marketing is external. You guys connect it to Closer Control. A lead comes in. Closer Control handles it. We have automation. We have AI handling it. And obviously, you guys have to take the calls. You guys have to close. Okay. But that's why everyone is in here. Everyone's a Closer Control client. And guys, all we want is to prosper more. So good luck. Thank you guys for joining. God bless. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you, boys.